The last two to try are Mk5 and Mk6. We're going to start with 6 for good reason, because essentially it's less of a new car and more of an update on the Mk5 with a little bit more go, a few more horsepower and some extra shiny bits on top. Here's the verdict. It's good. It's very good.
The Mk5, however, is a highlight. After the lacklustre efforts with the Mk4, VW had to make the 5th gen a proper GTI. It was the mid-noughties, a time when the world was being all ambitious and millennial. They couldn't let another stinker through, and thankfully, they didn't.
Now, this one has a 197 brake 2-litre turbo engine, 0 to 62 in about 7.2 seconds. Its top speed is 146 miles an hour, so it's not slow.
It also came with a ton of harks back to the original GTI. Red piping around the grille, for example. Tartan seats were an option, but its party piece was its automatic option. It came with a newfangled DSG gearbox that offered shifts so good that A, you wouldn't feel them because it was so smooth, and B, it was faster than a stick shift.
I was never a huge fan of its Monza alloy wheels because, well, I always thought that if you kind of glanced at them, you'd curb them like that. They do look eminently curbable. However, the rest of it, oh man, I like this car so much. The steering is great. It's nicely weighted. It feels really nice. The gear lever, again, the shift, it works. It feels really smooth, really crisp. But the engine is my favourite bit because there's a nice little rumble from it, and that turbo, it's not intrusive. There's no big wallop of torque. It's quite linear. Now remember, this came out in the mid-noughties. I remember people raving about this car, saying it was the best thing they'd ever driven. And I also remember looking at car magazines going, yeah, but hot hatch XYZ is faster. But that's not what this is about. It's about being just right. And this is fantastic. I've got my smile back. It's quick as well. It's proper fast. And it looks good. It's shouting proud with it. It's a GTI because someone in Wolfsburg figured out that it's a GTI worthy of wearing the GTI badge. Yes, it does look like a normal Golf, but it looks like a normal Golf that's been given a proper GTI working over. The Mk4 was fast, I will give it that. It was a quick car, but it didn't feel half as good as this. It wants you to push just a little bit harder. It wants you to go faster. So maybe go faster, I want to do more. I'm a GTI. I can be a practical family car, but look, I can also do this. The Mk5 is, I think, a major high point because it's where everything just kind of, it was right. It was a modern hot hatch. It wasn't too fast, it definitely wasn't slow, just beautiful.
With each car, something changed in a big way, be it for the better or the worse. They are wonderful reflections of the times they were released in too. The first was really a child of the late 70s and the early 80s, one of excess. The second more accessible. The third highlighted just how awkward the 90s were. The fourth showed how the whole new millennium thing of trying to be everything can blow up in your face a bit. The fifth, a new beginning in the early noughties as the world found its feet again. The sixth was a bit of a cheat, and the seventh, when it highlights how tech has evolved so much that you can have a car that'll be a sports car and an eco-wagon at the same time.
Now, which one is best? For me, it's got to be the Mk5. Somewhat controversial, I'm sure, but you know what? I love the way it looks, it feels, and basically how it is. I'd love a Mk1 or a Mk2 or pretty much all of them, maybe less so the 3 and 4, but all of them have something about them that make them feel special, that make them feel brilliant. And after all, when you think of a hot hatch, it's usually got a Golf GTI badge on it.